Hello guys, this is a pre-market analysis of 2nd of July and it's a sensex expiry. There are some positive factors, there are some negative factors. I'll discuss one by one and then I'll explain in detail also. Fact definitely will be there. So we'll be discussing that. And US market also did not do well. So if you see, the new Fed chairman actually maintained that 2% inflation target, and US markets, because of that, closed negative arbitrage. And Indian rupee has witnessed some significant pressure yesterday, and FIIs were also sellers yesterday. So these are the negative factors. I told the negative factors recorded the biggest fall in 4 years. Right, so that's something which is very positive. And oil price, which is continuing to decline, which is again very good. If you look at WTI, it's around 68, and it's actually indicating some kind of gap up also. So if you see, that's around 24,191. And if you equate it with Nifty, that if you give 100-point premium, right? So even if I give 100-point premium, it can be slightly more. So even if I give 100-point premium, it can come around 24,000, maybe 90, 80 level. So there can be a gap up of 70, 80 points. And everything else is looking fine. If Nifty is also indicating a gap up. But since the thing is that if it is moving to 24,200, we are seeing a sell-off. So yesterday, what happened towards the end, Nifty witnessed some kind of selling pressure. And European markets are also coming under significant selling pressure. So I thought, in fact, Nifty will fall more when looking at the European markets were also coming down at that point of time. You see, in fact, the investors, when the new Fed chairperson came, I told he's actually appointed and picked by Trump. With the previous person, Trump was not happy, right? He's sticking on to his stand and not reducing the interest rate and all, and maintaining 2% inflation target. The person who's picked by Trump also is looking to do the same. So the investors are also unhappy. Trump was also unhappy. And, in fact, because of this new person who has been picked up by Trump, market was expecting that compared to what, was the situation before. But in the last, conference also, we have seen, that in the upcoming days, instead of coming down, it is going to increase almost 0.5%. Portugal. In fact, Kevin Walsh, he's the new Fed chairperson, have stated that the Fed will continue to stick to that 2% inflation target. That's the larger goal. And he declined to provide any 4% inflation target. Then it is going to be very difficult because inflation definitely will be higher than 2% because of this crude prices increased and everything. If you look at the next quarter, so chances of you can see a significant gap down was there in the US market, and the PMI data supported the sentiment. And PMI, that's the largest decline in the last 4 years that have reduced some kind of negativity. Even so, by 0.66, S&P is marginally down. Dow Jones is also down. In fact, all the three indices closed negative. So overall takeaway is that US markets have closed negative and the global momentum also remained weak. Now market are waiting today night. Now coming to US-Iran update, there were indirect discussion which is continuing yesterday in Doha, and the mediators are of course Qatar and Pakistan. And after the meeting, US was improving, but he did not provide any detailed information about the negotiation or anything. And commercial shipping is now moving freely through the Strait of Hormuz. And as a result, after that, oil prices have fallen almost 2%. Is at 68. In fact, close to the price when the war started. Okay, so the Brent crude is around 71. That's a very positive sign for Indian market. Now, yesterday, coming to IT stocks, US stocks which are listed in other market, American, US market, okay, that's ADR. GDR is the European market. So we can see the price difference, how it is traded there, how it is traded here. There will be some arbitrage corrections. And other IT companies, if you take most of the other companies, including Infosys, they close significantly positive. So Wipro's negative, and there are reports which are suggesting that the reasons is also reducing Wipro's price target to lower level. But another important development which emerged is this Guggenheim Partners, which manages more than almost 30 AI will affect IT companies. So that can be one of the reasons, but still AI will not become the death nail that many is actually expecting. But still, I'm not very sure there is anything serious. Then what would have happened is the same would have been seen in the other IT sectors also. But Infosys closed significantly positive. But again, remember, Infosys is at a very lower level. In fact, broken 1,000 also, and that formed mainly because this AI growth story over the last few years. So maybe when this report of came, could be one of the reasons, right? So Wipro declined sharply, so you need to keep a watch. So that is giving some kind of contradiction also. That entire IT sector is not weak. If that is the case, then other should also have, impacted very much. Now coming to banking area, negative, and that's actually the arbitrage between today's session. Now GIFT Nifty is indicating 24,190. So when you consider almost 25 trading session and the premium, maybe you can give that GIFT Nifty, we may be getting an opening of 70, 80, 70 to 90 points. Okay, so That's what, around 70 to 90 point, around 100 you can expect, but it's open is the most important resistance level. So I don't think 24,200 will be crossed. So we may get some selling, considering FIs are also selling, but the positives are a lot of other negatives also. Even rupee also showing some kind of weakness yesterday. So if you look at FIs, the net sell was yesterday 1.15 thousand, 1,150. Right, DIs were bias of almost 3,150. Now, open interest, if you see call side support, that is something which is added at 23,900, 24,000 level. So PCR, in fact, actually increased to 1.11, which is slightly bullish sign, which is actually good. So these are the negative factors which I have told you. You're opening, but then PMI data took it to that better level. So that's positive, but GIFT Nifty is indicating some 100-point gap up, which is also positive. So a dip can be an opportunity. You cannot chase by looking for a get a dip. So it could be in the range. So you need to wait for value areas to buy and sell. Means demand zone for buying, supply zone for selling, and keep the tight and small stop losses. That's the only, and whatever small points that they may trap you also. In terms of decay, they can go sideways. So be very careful with today's session. And if you would like to join us for the live trading community where we trade live and we explain and everything, you can trade with me. So that's the live trading community where to our team and join the session. I see you there.